it is illegal action, what's happening in organ trade in crime. It is crime in international law and also national law position. Now we will try to understanding why the people is looking to select these ideas and what is the meaning of definition of human trafficking and organ trade, and what is the cooperation between the medical actions and also criminal actions. Now, in our program, we will take a look at introduction and methodology, understanding nature of the scope and the problem, and theoretical framework of the human trafficking and organ trade in multidisciplinary framework, because it comes from the different disciplines, such as sometimes criminal law, sometimes the civil law. On the other hand, enforcing international law and states' responsibility in order to preventing life as a crime. Thus, the eliminating deadly trafficking and organ trade, what will the recommendation for the solution, this ongoing and very dynamic problem. As we call it, like this, the first Secretary General move taking like this, human trafficking is one of the world's most painful, ill-practiced violations of human rights and the soul exposed to abuse and ruin. Yes, it's very critical and very dynamic problem. And then human trafficking, global proliferation. Why? I come to here almost 1 hour. And in 3 hours, you can go in every country via using the airplane. So the globalization increased the capacity of the human trafficking. And it continues humanitarian crime. We see from the ancient times, such as the grandfather of Obama comes from Africa. Today is a president, but it was crime coming from the millions of Africans. Almost, according to some historical people, 12 million people lost their life when they navigate from the African to the American country. On the other hand, how can we prevent this illicit crime? This illegal income will make millions of dollars. It's bring the money smuggling to people. On the other hand, we see the European and American continental destinations. This methodology of law enforcement, we need eliminate the human trafficking. However, if you have living in your little country in healthy, there is no problem. If you let up the rent or the normal life, you will go a problem, such as we see in the Syria crisis or Northern Africa. Now, the victims, usually, if you have been a medical doctor, you will see these people, they lost their body. Or the trade in illegal and violence human rights. And the symbiotic part of organized crime and host of offenders. What does it mean? You see, these guys is very poor. They sell their parts of the body in order to continue their life. It is one of the most critical points in human trafficking. On the other hand, it's hard to identify. Why? They hide from the police and service officials trying to help them as illegal immigrants, such as with no green cards, no visa. I'm sorry, but we need to see some identification. You know that in U.S. when you go, they ask the passport to you. However, African Indians asking to them, hey, European guy, do you have a passport or the ID card? Who is the native people that Americans, Indian people? On the other hand, what is the relationship, symbiotic relation between organ crime, the trade, organized crime, and human trafficking come together, growing and dangerous and enterprises. You see many people also using the trafficking of the weapons. We are being introduced just in our border of the Syria and Iraq today. It's a very big problem for us. Now, how can we address this from legal and medical and ethical perspective? This means the medical staff is regarding mostly medical people is do this crime. And some people is organize it. However, we need organs and donors people and sick recipients. Because the people will have money, but they don't have some parts of it, such as the problematic part. And at that time they aim to be help the people to transfer to their body. They stay living with, for example, stage A, but stage C is poor people. They may be selling parts of the heart or another part of the life or the life. Now, in spite of the problem, it's complex difficult and rising dynamic proliferated issues. This means it is very hard to people. You can understand this guy. Is it a tourist man or they are transferred their body to go into another country? And then the international framework linking the victims of the combat worldwide. This means this is not a national problem. It is international problem. Now, we look at methodology. How can we go ahead? Comprehensive approach to combating this illicit trafficking. Illicit means illegal, the trafficking. On the other hand, do we have the adequate problem with trafficking? Often, big enforcement policies, because some states do not want to see like this the crimes. This is one of the reasons. Another, the great solution, the consequences. How can we stop this organ trade? But no one people is going to the policeman unless they didn't pay their money. After these, policemen can understand and get information about it. Now, traffickers, regarding the adults and children, sometimes their victimization, including attack, illicit drug, and transport. But mostly the children and women and migrant people is victims of the crime. You look at this guy, they select their body inside of the shipping, from country A to the B. However, when they catch up, it's a problem. This time, we are asking definition, what is human trafficking? It is transport human being. It is transit international borders, going from state A to B, and it's organized international, not only one people. On the other hand, it is regularly transport within across the borders. You want to describe like this officially. What is the definition? But you look at these young people, especially young ladies, the victims of this crime against individual rights and against the state, because state has to protect their citizens. This is a main legal framework in the constitutional law and international law perspective. Now, how is going the smuggling process? They do people between agreement. Say inside of such as today in the India, some people is coming to bargaining, is smuggling, they're coming to the border, and they're coming to destination far away. They are coming to such as in France, they save their body. This is organizing issue and going from state of many countries. But it is regarding transferring body to another people, like looking carefully here. It's a great crime in deal with international humanitarian crime, number one. And two, lack of data protection, data conditions. Why? You look at the ladies, forced labor, and sometimes human organs. This trafficking is discriminating, different crimes. On the other hand, sometimes abuse, sometimes explanations, and ownership of the victims. But we see that most they prefer young people and the ladies because they don't have enough protection capability. Another idea, human trafficking worldwide, you look at from China, Russia, and African countries going to the Western industrialized and well-fired states in order to go ahead here the economical condition. And it's mine. These people who they cry and aim to go ahead in another country, they assume seeker people help in country. They say, hey, come on, baby, we will give you the permission to be a student seeker, and you will be citizenship in the German, such as. But when you go ahead to resolve someone, and police will check out you, go ahead to the jail. Another trafficking victims arranging the force into the trafficker people, they assist them. Now, smuggling, you look at this picture, inside of the normal car, one lady is going from country A to the B, and other people financial, and other people material benefits. Now, smuggling migrants who have to the smuggling. You see, thousands of people is going via the Mediterranean agency from Turkey to another country. But it's a big drama and big drama. Why thousands of people die inside of the oceans, and an agency today, we see very bad remembrance. Dear students, you're looking here, these people is jumping from the parachute, and we're looking at the transit countries, land, sea, and air. They come to the different countries. We look at one shipping from the tracks, they come to the inside, and if they can understood from the custom people, they understood that these are illegal immigrant people. However, it's very wide methodology to using. Another methodology, such as expanding cooperative transnational dimension, from China going to North America, or from China going to the United countries of the Europeans. However, what about the act of international investigation? How can you determine many thousands of trucks or the shipping is coming from international navigation? Because we start with illegal immigration, like this, for example, theoretical framework, we see in the international law perspective, it is multidisciplinary. Not only criminal law, it's regarding the effects, all countries, labor and sexual crimes. I will try to understand these. One is key theoretical dimension. Some people say this action is criminal approach. This means they do a crime that is against humanity, and we have to send these people to the jail. Other people is looking from the migration perspective. Other is violation of human rights. Other people, this is a normal bargain. They pay the money, they sell their body. It's normal. This is a theoretical framework. When you look at humanitarian perspective, it's not very easy to accept this situation. But let's try and understand it. Key dimension trafficking the problem is children's rights and women's rights. Why? Most of the victims is these people. Another is cooperation. This brings economic and social problems. Why? They don't have enough money. They aim to sell the parts of the body in order to give their debts. They have a heavy pressure of the debt. They sell the parts of the body, and then the protected organized crime, and sometimes they are going to migration via the human trafficking people. They go, such as in Turkey now, many people is trafficking this guy. Hey, come on, the Syria people, you give the money to me, for example, 10,000 US dollars, I promise you you can go to Greece. And they catch life with the boat, but this boat is unsafe, and thousands of people die inside of the blue ocean. Now, it's dynamic but adaptable, the activity, the complex humanitarian disaster. You see, not only in Turkey, inside of the Asia-Pacific areas, many people face like this accidents. Another side is economic approach. You see, these guys is trying. Please, my lady or my respectable people, don't send me to the Africa again. Because I will show to you they are coming from the Sub-Sahara to the Algeria or the Libya. They are going to the Italy or the via Spain. They don't want to go back to Africa again. Now, this means in other perspective, it is more of a suspected business. These people, they give their parts of the body, other guys giving the money. It's normal, but ethically it's not acceptable. This is connect, demand and supply. One people is buyer, other is sellers. It's good and normal. And then why you see like this is economic. The cultural norms, corruption, this doesn't matter for us. Because in order to keep the life, family members, for example, their mother have a big problem, they prefer to sell their parts of the body. There is no other option for them, these poor people. Now, criminal law I get. Now, look at it from the law perspective. These crimes is against international criminal law. However, it's transnational law. Why? The crime begins, for example, first of all, the bargain in India. They boarding to an airplane, they come to the France via the citizen. It's transnational. Many countries is going to another. And it comes They can't. Inside of, for example, in Sweden or Norway, they are going to do the care of people is taken law. We understood that this is an international crime. Many actors join this crime. Another idea, this human rights abuse. Why? Most importantly, this is against the violation of human rights. We see many children, many women is working without the permission. Why? All these guys is under the 18 years old. Now the detected like this 53% is involved sexual exploitation and 40% in labor. You look at many people is selling their body, especially the victims are ladies and young people. The construction, catering, restaurants, entertainment services, if they can find very easily because they are not professional people. The easier is working in agricultural areas. Another idea, you're looking at the explanation forced marriage. You look at child soldiers or the very young people, especially in Turkey we see very young people is married. They sell their body. And on the other hand, organ removal or illegal adoption to the children. Illegal adoption means you buy illegally someone's children, but they make sexual the contact with their body. Now, labor organization is telling like this 21 million people is modern slavery around the world. The slavery minimum people means they don't have any rights and they are working illegally. They cannot contact with the police when they don't know the communication or the language. They are looking looks like it's a kind of animal. They don't have the money and other rights. Anyway, like this, the 60% coming from the Asia-Pacific area, later than Africa, in Latin America, they have understood that most of the problematic people is coming from Asia-Pacific area. Now, reported human trafficking, main origins, it means from inside of this area, they need to be follow these trade routes going to the Western countries, such as the Europeans or the continent of Canada and North America. Their main target is these are. Now, estimated values trafficking is cocaine. It brings the heroin and also trafficked women. All of this bringing money to the migrant people. That time, not only human, also they sell illegal drugs, especially heroin and other illegal drugs. Now, you look at the one labor day, who are the victims? Most of the women, later than children and girls. Another idea is sexual exploitation and forced labor. Two categories is very high. This means they are only eating and drinking, and they don't have another expenditure. It's a kind of slavery. Now, the International Labour Organization, telling like this 55% victims forced labor are female, ladies. It's very critical. And killing modern slaves, they are under 18 years old, and because they cannot hold something, they don't have the power enough in order to protect themselves, either legally or in the illegal. Now, why so much people is subject to trafficking? One is the women are trafficked for work in sex industry. This is number one. Number two, labor is in thrift shops. They are working very easily for marriage. If you get married from Syrian people is here, it will be very easy. I don't want to say the price, but the many sources, you look at these, it's very big profits, total $32 billion every year. You take care in Turkey, in spite of a big country, we sell for example, our defense expenditure, $15 billion every year, 2 times more than Turkey's defense budget. Now, you look at all the high-speed transport systems. Why the reason is so many medium people is going? One is globalization, countries intercontinental movements. They are going from the country to a B just in a short time by using naval or naval lines. Now, another idea, increasing the migration of labor. Why? International products is increased, they need labor forces. That time, many people is coming to work in here, but they don't have enough legal protection. Another idea, European continent collapse, the socialist black, and of the Cold War time, many people from Eastern going to the West, such as Eastern Germany, many people come to the West. But Arab Spring and former Yugoslavia warfare increased this acceleration. This means today more than 20 million people is immigrated to the Egypt. Dear guys, the poor and politically less stable countries going from A to the B, and majority migrants living in developing countries. They aim to become industrial welfare countries. This means increase over the coming decades. Another idea is the lack of enough water in African continent and food. They are hungry and thirsty. They aim to go ahead. Otherwise, they will be lost their life. This means, you look at here, the South Syria, the migration is a big headache for Turkey. 3 million people living in Turkey now. It comes from the Turkey, the Greece, Bulgaria, Syria, and Kosovo, and Germany. They aim to go Norway and Sweden. Normally, the 6 million people is evolved from the Syria today. And from the 50% in Syria in civil war, it migrated inside and outside today. It's a big wealth. What will be happen? The between-headed Germany, France, Baltic states, and Turkey, Balkan countries. You look at the newspaper in today, Balkan countries do not give permission, such as Macedonia and other countries. There's a bad news in today in the newspaper. While Bulgarian crazy people, they aim to be catch and hunting the people. It's amazing, huh? It's against humanitarian law and human rights. We are human, not animal, huh? Another perspective, you're looking, this baby is a symbol, but many babies die inside of the tribes. You look at, almost 3 months ago, 5,000 people died in the Mediterranean. This is unbelievable, right? 5,000 people die inside of the ocean, and they don't know how to swim. And Western countries looking, this is normal because Islamic people, and they will bring us problems. Another perspective is they will learn, just in a short time, they will change population density. Either you believe or not believe, from coming another interesting, from Rome, Pope says, Arabic people aim to be invading the European continent. It's impossible because these guys, all of this, almost 5 million, but only the European population, 5,050 million. Invading is another idea. You need to conquer in others. However, as an international law professor, I'm telling like this, these migrated people is not seen in the humanitarian new history. It's a kind of the migration is so mass migration. We see this accident end of the World War I, since the changing of the borders, almost 11 people was immigrated in Europe. Later then, we see in the end of the World War II, in the second wave, and it was 30 million people was immigrated. And of this, they decide to, in the United Nations umbrella, to organize the international law regulation. We name this no refueling to each other. This means if someone is comes with a kind of immigrated people, you cannot send him to the back because they lost their life. They aim to survive the now enforcing international states' responsibility. This primary law enforcement is agencies stamping the community's legalization of this act. The problem is, you see like this thousands of people at media counts, instruments have focused on fights against illegal activations and preventing these people. We need to prevent these people because they don't have to protect themselves. However, state independent state under the responsibility to protect their citizens. Now, you look at here, United Nations, smuggling migrants last year, they entered the force, United Initiative to fight human trafficking in the United Nations umbrella. European Union sometimes talks about the human trafficking, trafficking towards the eradication of trafficking, and the Council of European Convention, they aim to stop this action. But most importantly, global awareness of training. I have special thanks to you professors, and they told me, we need to awareness. You are educated people, and you will teach to your family, around your population. You are candidate in the future, medical doctor, either teacher or lawyer. Hey, you take care of your child, and the government has under the responsibility in the name of humanitarian law. Why? This is global problem, not only one this lady. Or how can we take action about this problem? This man wants to ban your daughter. Do you know, let's come. And an air trafficking law, looking at many people, especially the ladies, sell their body. It is illegal and against human mentality and human life. Another difficulty eliminating. Now let's go ahead. How can we solve this ball and downfall problem? And human body is lack of sufficient donor organs. This means if you want to be given donor, it's officially legal. However, if you sell your body and without legal contract, it's illegal because they don't pay their money. All right? The problem is beginning just here between the lawyers and donor people because they will be victims, right? The political, you look at these guys, organ trade. These are looking at medical law enforcement factors, bringing black market network capacity. What does it mean? They sell this part of the body, for example, this should be a eyes, okay? It's not amazing. It's how much money your eyes, only one. For example, you aim to scam it. How many thousand? $1 million. They pay to you only $10,000 or less than $1,000. But for this guy, $1,000 is very high price. However, they sell to other people in the like this. The problem is black marketing network capacity. They buy from the China designs. They sell to the Norway to the $10 million. Some people will be here $10 million. Don't forget, you bring to me 1 hour or 1 year. Doesn't matter. However, they don't pay this money to these victim people, donor people. This problem is this. And a kidney, for example, a heart. Look at this 1 million, the British, the patient spending very little because there is broker people. Hey, they come to bargain to you, the less than is wealthy. And then they remove the organ and they send, like this human organ transport, just in a short time, going to every country, and they pay very little bit money. And you cannot determine what's happening. Now we try to follow protocol. It's very critical. The people is coming very easily. Transport, transfer, they coming, they want tourist people to our country. Normal, okay? Means how it's done. The factual fraud, deception, the never given payments to parents. They make the bargaining, but they don't pay it. Number 3, why is done? Including the forced labor slavery, removal their organ, and giving trafficking under the protocol. But in your protocol this line, for example, $1 million or the $10,000, whatever, They pay less and less than this value. This is illegal. And this Palermo Protocol Article 3-A is giving the permission like this after this illegal crime. And protocol prevent the PIP protocol, the removal of organs, drug law, adopted the narcotics like this other issues developed activity continually unchecked. What does it mean, Professor? You look in here, impulsive mandatory. A lot of people media coverage. Hey, what's happening? Such as in Syria today, we see very people, a lot of people lost their life, but we are not against. Oh, this is Syrian people going to die. Or we see some of them, you don't give money something to them. We don't want to assist them. However, you remember, this is one of the important points in this lecture. Everybody one day will be migrant. Do you know why? We are under the democratic country today, and we have a very powerful army. However, tomorrow perhaps we see a war with Russia, okay? And then we lost thousands, millions of people, and they invaded our country. That time, 10 million people is going to, such as the Middle East, will be migrated people. Everybody one day will be one migrated people. And you look at the history of the human being, all the prophets, the Ibrahim and others, Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is also migrated people. So now you look at Turkey's role, refugees and humanitarian the problems. Turkey open border policy. Our country comes from the empire, and we say open door policy. This means counts people from the former the empire, the borders. It was our citizens, Syrian people. One time they are part of the Ottoman Empire. However, when we make a bargain with the Western countries, Turkey says, yes, we can accept 100,000 people enough. Davutoğlu says like this. But today, the capacity is higher than 3 million people. It is out of Turkish capacity, and then many people in the spring across the province south of Turkey. Look at it. Many Syrian people, bigger than 41 cities, the population. It is very critical, right? There is sometimes benefit, sometimes hardship about it. Now, Turkey applied open door policy. No forced return. He didn't push them because Assad regime will kill them. Number 3, unlimited duration. Stay in Turkey. You stay in Turkey. Another important person, international protection. You see, we established the camps here in order to protect them. However, the Russian combat aircraft is bombing now. It is against humanitarian law and international Geneva Convention law of warfare. Now, we look at the humanitarian spread not only Turkish government, Turkish people. According to the United Nations, Turkey showing social tolerance and assisted millions of them. Now, in Syria, it was 1 month ago, 2.5 million, today is 3 million people. And the largest source of the refugees in all the world, Turkey today. This is incredible contribution, and then you look at so many people is coming to Turkey. Now, Turkey is, how can I answer is AFA, is disaster emergency presidency, has been responsible for building the refugee camps. I am responsible in Turkey refugee camps. The name of the TÜBİTAK is a kind of a project, it's continued more than 2 years. I am legal advisor and security advisor about this project. We are going to these camps and what's happening in this area, training and also other medical problems. Many people cannot find the medical doctors also. On the other hand, Turkey sent today $8 billion to these people. They say that Turkey aims to be money to get it. It's very difficult and not very easy because our economy is also under the crisis now. If we cannot give enough training these people, these people should be turned just in a short time, radical terrorist people. This is another dangerous phrase. What happened in the NATO, they aim to be sending some of the naval troops in order to prevent in the Aegean Sea from the one we operated now. On the other hand, you look at what's happening in our borders. You look at the Russian naval, the battleships. From here and here, they are bombing in Syria, and coalition forces bombing in Syria. They look at just around the living people in Turkish border. They are killing non-gathering parties of the dead. This air intervention, just in around the border of Turkey, they aim to be establishing like this, separated part of the Syria, and this is northern Syrian Kurdish people. This is de facto an establishment in parts of the Syria is divided into 5 parts, same as in Syria in Iraq today. But you look at the people, what's happening in European, totally European picture, the gap quota, 50,000 almost. One of them, Germany, to buy, to get, they accept up to this point, they mostly between 7,000 people, 100,000 people. Germany had under the big pressure, Mrs. Merkel. What's happening in the people? Look at Romania, to get less than the 5,000 people, right? Now, the Turkey is the biggest country to accept these people, and then this is an absolute humanitarian catastrophe, and it's full of big financial problems. And what about the paperwork drawing right-wing radicalization? This means many people killed our citizens. In Ankara 2 times, and also in Reyhanlı, and also they killed German tourists in the Sultanahmet. I am afraid in the summertime, if they attack in the Antalya, what can we do? Turkish tourism will be collapsed at the time. However, this is international terrorism, looking like this. You see it coming from Syria and Macedonia, they close their borders. Then UN says, hey, this is against the international humanitarian law and refugee law, but no one takes care about it. What about the UN Secretary General? He's concerned the duration of the facing refugees, and European countries only the talking, no action. UN agencies proud and feel and face over the refugees, and then they say it's a ban. European states ensure a vital international obligation. Why? They cannot say you removal from this country. Because it's a humanitarian problem and international law over this. However, they make discrimination. Why? These people is Muslim. Doesn't matter for us. They will die. No problem. Who is benefit of the country? Israel. Because they collapsed off Syria and left of the people. It is no man's land in Syria. And they collapsed the housing, whatever, all the government facilities. And this is a whole town, whole city of the Syria. Now, the whole person must be admitting and closing the some borders. They close the borders now. Now, coming to conclusion, dear my students, enlarging these negative effects in criminal justice, number 1. Number 2, need effective international coordination and response. This is not only a Turkey problem. Another legal background, the marketing, the planning, inadequacy of the crisis strategies. You look at here, population of the top 10, they don't have enough population. Today, the European population is going to all right over. But the violence is mostly the fundamental human rights. 1. Responded international law legally, they need altogether, we have to answer it. Another idea, how can we strain the legal framework conventions about the issue? But they don't carry the international law. Another idea, eliminating further understood benefit of enforcement, like this, especially victims of human trafficking, the ladies and child, poor, worker people. Dear students, human trafficking brings the state responsibility, effective investigation, and come together judicially and cooperation all the It's not only the one people can solving this. Another idea is we have to give immediate protection support to the victims. You look at in Syria today, they don't have the food and water. You see every night, this is trauma, but we are observing now what happened to Turkey, right? Another idea reveals that trafficked person, they don't have housing, emergency income, is a big problem. And what about the legal assistance? If they have a problem, they got a talking. And on the other hand, they're looking to support the ethical obligation. You look at these guys, they sell their body, or the policemen look at like this, I don't see something, right? Or provide a training, good practice, human trafficking. We have to meet like this in the universities, establishing awareness. Awareness, yes, improved understanding. Who are these people? What is their problem? Why they go like this victim of the ladies, especially? And they can kill something. Looks like 390, right? The criminal victim of rape approach, we need. They need information, and also we have to assist to them. Another idea, make the rest of people here. You look at that. How can the governments and later immigration give an employment to them? They don't have the job, and they are, for example, one employer, people working 1,000 lira today, they are working to do 5 lira. All right, criminal justice regarding the civil society, medical and transplant communities need the medical doctors' attention to this. Removal organs among the potential, it is needs the criminal justice. However, if we donate our organ and save the life, organ donation is ensure national self-sufficiency. We have to give them the training to these people. What is the meaning of official donating organ? Is another option. Strengthening international capacity of law enforcement, drugs, and smuggling, money laundering. It's another transferring criminal justice. We need good judge, good criminal, and the justice, and border control and management. Another idea, cooperation, looks like these young people must be sustained, others will be failing, and organizing shared goals. Shared goals means what is our humanitarian responsibility. We need all of these guys without their religious color, because they are human beings. This is the end of my lecture. Thank you for listening to me. And I have a special thanks to you, professors, also invite me.